Nike Air Zoom Pegasus 38 versus the Brooks Glycerin 19. So, how do these two shoes compare? First, we'll go through some of the specs. I've been wanting to do this kind of quasi-comparison for a while. I don't know that these shoes in their respective lineups match up one for one. People would probably say that the Brooks Ghost 14 matches up more with the Pegasus 38 than the Glycerin does. There's probably some truth to that. I don't even know if the Ghost is actually the best comparison for this. I don't even know if Brooks honestly has a one-to-one comparison for the Pegasus, which is kind of interesting, seeing as how the Pegasus is probably the most well-known running shoe out there. I don't know that it's necessarily the best, but certainly one of the most well-known running shoes on the market today and historically. But we'll kind of get to that a little bit later on. So, Pegasus 38, 10 millimeter drop, 17.5 millimeters in the forefoot, 27.5 in the heel, 9.7 ounces. Retail brand new was $120. So I've put over 300 miles on this shoe. You can see the outsole is in great shape. I mean, there's hardly any wear to this thing. Just a little bit back here on the lateral heel, just very, very small where it's kind of worn out some of these ridges just a little bit, but I mean, nothing crazy. Foam is a little compressed, you can see here, but not a big deal. So, Glycerin 19, 21 millimeters in the forefoot, 31 in the heel, also a 10 millimeter drop, 10.2 ounces, so about a half an ounce heavier, and retail new $150. I've put almost 300 miles on this shoe. Again, I mean, outsole is, looks almost brand new. Same thing, a little bit of wear on this outside heel area. Foam, I mean, still doesn't show really any signs of compression. Maybe a little bit right here. I don't know if you can see that or not. Nothing kind of along this upper part of the midsole there. Outsole, or the outer, is in great shape. I guess you can see a little bit of the compression here in that area, but nothing overly so. Outer looks great. Actually, the outer on both of these shoes has held up really, really well. I mean, there's no fraying, there's no wear points, anything like that. Laces, all the eyelets, everything looks almost brand new to me. So, how do these shoes compare? The biggest thing that I've noticed in running in these two shoes, and you can kind of see it here. So the Pegasus 38 to me feels quite a bit narrower in the heel, and you can see it. I mean, you can kind of see how this tapers, kind of right here. The Glycerin 19 looks quite a bit flatter, especially in the forefoot. You can see it looks quite a bit wider up there in the forefoot, and that kind of carries back through the heel. You don't really get like this real hard taper like you do on the Pegasus 38. I don't feel it here necessarily. It's kind of like right in the arch. It actually in the arch doesn't feel very tight. Where I feel it is back here, really kind of back in the heel, and it's not uncomfortable. It's just snug. You just kind of feel it really kind of pulling around, sort of underneath your ankle, and sort of wrapping around through the heel counter. Another thing that I've noticed in the Pegasus 38 versus the Glycerin 19, and I kind of knew it, and I talked about it in sort of the opening unboxing video, is that the depth that your foot sits in this shoe is a little bit shallower than it does in like this Glycerin 19 or in the Ghost or in like the Asics Nova Blast or the Forever Float Ride from Reebok. For whatever reason, this is just a little bit shallower depth in the heel. It doesn't bother me. I don't get any rubbing like on my ankle or anything, but it's just something that I've noticed. So in terms of materials, uh, you can also see this glycerin, and I mean, granted, this is 150 and this is 120. So where are they gonna, cut corners? The air zoom in this shoe is very good. The outsole obviously very good, but you can see here, the collar not nearly as padded as it is on the Glycerin 19, and it's really not supposed to be. I don't know. Um, the Pegasus 38 isn't necessarily sort of like a long run shoe. I know people use it for that. I know people that use it for marathon training personally. It's not necessarily touted as being made for that, but you could certainly do it depending on the style of a runner that you are. But like I said, I mean, this shoe, the Glycerin 19, is really built with a lot of cushioning. It's very plush. Uh, you know, for me, I didn't really have to break the shoe in very much. It was kind of just put it on and go. Um, the Pegasus, really good step-in comfort as well. I didn't really feel like I had to break it in either. One thing that's kind of I've noticed about this Pegasus 38, sort of weird, is that it likes to run sort of a middle pace, and at least for me, it doesn't like going slow, and it doesn't like going very fast. So it kind of has limited, where I can use the shoe, the types of runs that I'm going to use it on. This Glycerin 19 I bought because I wanted, like a long run shoe that was cushioned. I felt like in this shoe, trying to think what else, the Forever Float Ride series, I can't run really long runs in those shoes and then feel good the next day, Whereas in this Glycerin 19, I can. I can put in, a longer run day and feel fine, not have any calf tightness or soreness, anything like that. And I'm not talking about like a long run where I'm trying to push the pace either. These are very much just, mile building type runs where I don't really care about pace, and it's just about getting, building a base. So if you're looking to do that, you don't care about your speed, and you just want comfort, and you want to be reasonably sure that you're probably going to feel pretty good the day after, this is certainly the shoe to do that in. And you can see kind of what I was talking about before, sort of the width. I mean, you can kind of see for the foot splay, across the front of this Glycerin 19, you have a lot more room up in the toe box compared to the Pegasus 38. And so Pegasus 38 versus just the Brooks line in general. I mean, you have the Ghost 14, 9.9 ounces, 12 millimeter drop. It's 24 in the forefoot, 36 in the heel, I believe. $140. So I had thought about going with the Ghost because I've run in the Ghost line before. I really like it, but I didn't want a 12 millimeter drop. So it's kind of up to you. If you are looking for a lower drop, then your options are a little bit limited. You also have the Launch, the Launch 9. Oh, we're gonna get doused with some pollen here. The Launch 9, 8.2 ounces, 10 millimeter drop, 26 in the forefoot, 36 in the heel. $100. So price point is a little bit closer to the Nike Pegasus line. I've run in the Launch series. I don't feel like the materials are quite as high quality, I guess, as the Pegasus. To me, the Launch series just felt a little bit more budget. I mean, it's fine. It's a good shoe to run in. I've never had any quality issues with it, but like I said, I don't know that it's necessarily on par with the Pegasus line. So something to consider. You're looking for another Brooks shoe. It's worth trying out. Like I said, I've run a Launch before, and it's a good shoe for sure. So Glycerin 19, Pegasus 38. I used this for an everyday trainer. For the most part, this was more of a longer run shoe, but I will use that for everyday trainer if I'm not worried about pace or anything like that. Not really a workout shoe. Some people might be able to run, tempo runs in this. Like I said, I kind of felt like middle paces it did really well in. Really fast paces, it just, for whatever reason, didn't feel great to me. And slow paces or slower paces, it felt like just kind of clunky. It to me there seems to be like a very certain pace where you kind of get into a groove and you feel really good running in this shoe, and faster or slower than that, it just feels a little wonky at times. So that's the Glycerin 19 versus the Pegasus 38. Hope it answers any questions for you guys. Feel free to leave a question or a comment below, and I'll get to it. Hopefully the Pegasus 38 video that I did has helped people make some decisions on that. So that's how those two shoes stack up, and hopefully I'm kind of running through a bit of an injury right now, but hopefully I'll have some more shoe reviews coming up in the future. All right, guys, stay safe out there and have fun.